Hello everyone, welcome back to Edgewater and Generations. We're just rolling the farm all back to the yard here. It finished its rolling and we're heading home to park this up. But we're going to jump straight back into one of the other tractors, probably the Super Major, which has got the weeder hooked up to it. We've got two fields with weeds in, and I think we're running low on the amount of time we're going to have to be able to get them out mechanically. After that, we'll have to spray them. So I want to try and get that done quickly, but then we've got a few other jobs to do as well. But what I'll do now is I will park this somewhere. I forgot these rollers are a bit of a pain to reverse. Well, they're impossible to reverse, so we might just drop by this white fence here. I'm going to show you our new tractor again, as we've tried to with each episode. I'm trying to introduce a few more bits of kit as and when they're appropriate and when they're necessary. So let me show you our new foraging setup. So let's just park this up and then I'll head over and have a look at it with you. Right, that's the farm all parked up. I am starting to get a bit of a collection of tractors here. I may need to consider selling one or two of them. We do have two, well, we have the Massey Ferguson and the Ferguson, both of the same era. We maybe do want to get rid of one of those, especially as our new tractor has got a decent horsepower on it. And there it is. It is the Farmall, or the IH806. I think originally manufactured in 63 through to 67, so it's bang on for our era that we're looking at the moment. And I have attached to it, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago, the Tarrap forage harvester. Very in keeping with this era as well. Probably not with that logo on the front, that's quite a modern logo, but I haven't actually tried this, so kind of hoping it works. We had the Norwegian version that I showed you in a couple of episodes ago, but we know that that didn't work very well, and this is a better mod, so we're going to give this one a go. And we've got a New Holland forage box on the back there. So aim is with this to cut out some of the stages that we had last time. So we're not mowing, we're not windrowing, we're not tedding. We're just going to mow this direct into the forage box and get it straight into the silo over there. Cut down the amount of work and should be able to keep on top a little bit more of the food for the carers, because they're going to start eating quite a lot, I think. So, very pleased to have this here. Again, links to these in the description if you want to grab these and have a play with them. But for now, we will jump in to the Super Major, get this weeding done first, and then we'll come back and have a think about what we want to do next. Right, let's get this to the field. This is a weeder from the mod hub, actually. It's a lizard one. Obviously with those European flashings on. In an ideal world I would have jumped into Giant's Editor and whipped those off, but we'll just cope with them for now. Now, if I jump out here and just show you quickly. Let's turn our HUD on for a second. As you can see here, weeds medium hoe. So it's saying that we should be able to remove these mechanically still. So, let's jump in and let's give it a go, and hopefully it works. I'm just going to lower it down here. I'm just going to run this and we'll come back, we'll test a bit of ground. I think we might be able to see as it moves some of them out of the way. I'm just looking at, and I can see the odd weed disappearing. If you just catch it on the edge of the weeder, it seems to be disappearing, so that looks positive. The best thing to do though is to jump into the map and just have a quick look. There we are, field 14. Let's just click over to soil composition, and there we go. Yep, that looks good. Does need rolling as well, but I think we've missed the boat with that one because crops started to come up, and I'm not sure rolling freshly seeded ground is the right thing to do. Should have done it before it started to sprout. Anyway, let's push on, let's get this done, and then we'll move over to the other field. just finishing the last couple of rows. That's not taken too long at all. So we'll just finish these off and we're going to run straight over to the other field. I will put a worker on for the next field though, because I'd like to go back and get ready for some fertilization. I've just actually checked the fields. I'll show you on the map in a minute. But we've got 1 dose of fertilizer on this field, and we have 1 on the field we're just about to roll, and nothing on the field of peas in the middle there. So we need to get some fertilizer on just to get things balanced out a bit. So I kind of thought it would make sense to put some on now to get the double dose in, because remember, we're not using precision farming here, we're just going off our gut. In fact, I had a very fun conversation this week with Dan Siegel, one of my followers, who always puts really informed, well thought out comments in the comments section. And we had a bit of a conversation actually about precision farming and why I wasn't using it, and to all intents and purposes, you know, what did people do back in the day when it came to judging how much fertilizer or lime they needed to put on their crops. And to be honest, I think back in the day it was based on experience and records from other farmers and the good old almanac of what you should be doing, or, you know, a rough guide to what you should be doing with your crops, rather than any science. So that's what we're doing here. We are just doing it the good old-fashioned way. I will introduce precision later on, I think, in the series, when it was appropriate to. But to be honest, that's going to be pretty late on. I mean, precision farming is relatively new as a concept. So yes, there were developments or evolved over time, but certainly back in the 60s, I think you'd be you're doing it based on your experience and your judgment. So let's run over to the other field now. Let's set this off running. It's a bigger field, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But we will then go back and we will use our little dry fertilizer spreader, our little John Deere fertilizer spreader that's been sitting in the shed there since the first episode. So here we are. This is the field we rolled in the last episode. As you can see, the nice rolled texture there, and a lot of weeds on here. Now if I turn the HUD on for a second here, again it's saying weeds small, needs a weeder. Now I'm not sure if this is classed as a weeder or a hoe. Let's find out, shall we? We may have missed the boat with this one already. I'm kind of hoping we haven't. It looks like we haven't. That's good. That's a relief. I was kind of hoping that was the case. But nice to get this off the field before the crop starts appearing. That's ideally what you want to be doing with it. But it's doing a good job there. It's not messing up the texture either, which is quite nice. Okay, this looks good. We will set our worker off in here, I think, and then we will go and get the fertilizer spreader. Right, he's off and running. That is some facial hair on him, doesn't it? Look at that. Jeez, oh. Anyway, he's up and running. This tractor looks really good when it's dirty, actually. Don't let Args hear me say that, but it does. So, this is quite a big field. This will take a little bit of time because this tractor isn't the fastest, but we'll let it do its thing, and we will go and do something else. It's all about efficiency here. We've got to get quite a few jobs done over the next few days, so we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of our farm help as well. We're missing a few of these just around the edge, but it's not the end of the world. I don't think it's going to cause us a huge issue when it comes to difference in yield come harvest time. I am itching to get to harvest time, by the way, and get into that Lands Combine and actually get some stuff. So we'll leave this for now, and we'll go and get organised with something else. Right, here's our little seeder. So I think probably the little John Deere here will do us nicely for this. Got the small field to do first, and then we'll move on to the big field that's being rolled at the moment, so we might not be able to do that straight away, depending on how long it takes the Super Major to get through it. We may be finished in the small field before we're ready for him, although we do have the peas to do as well, so we could get those started. So we do have 2 fields to get on with. Right, let us go and grab this and we'll get it filled up. We do have some fertilizer in the shed already, so we'll grab that. Hopefully in the future we'll have enough manure from the cows that they will allow us to use that as fertilizer. making us a little bit more self-sufficient and not having to spend as much money, so we'll see how we go with that. But this LF12 is very nice. Again, a mod hub mod. And over here is our fertiliser. We'll get this filled up and get into the field. There we go. The door's opening there. Let's get this filled up. Looks like it takes quite a lot, actually. Oh, 1,500 litres. Very nice indeed. Okay. Get these closed up. And let's get into the field. So we'll start in the small field here, but let's just jump into the map. I want to show you the state of the fields at the moment before we start spreading this fertilizer. Okay, so I take it back completely. It's only our grass fields that have 1 dose of fertilizer in them. None of our fields with crops in have any fertilizer in them at all, so we are going to have to do 2. Now, our challenge here is this may start going quite tall. We can only put 1 dose of fertilizer on at each growth stage. So if I put 1 on now, the next one will have to be at the next growth stage. So I don't know how tall it'll be then, but we may want to put liquid fertilizer on for the second dose, depending on how high the crop is. The same goes for the peas there. The cornfield over there, where we're taking the weeds out of now, might be alright, because obviously we're going to put the first dose on of that before it starts to germinate. So let's see how we go. Now, I've not used this before, so let's just see what happens. A nice little animation there as it just drops onto the ground. We'll jump back into the map in a minute and just check that this is working as intended, and that looks very good, doesn't it? Superb. Okay. Things are looking good. Let's get on with this. Right, we're nearly finished. Let me just show you where we've still got to go. Just that little bit down there. It's incredibly hard to see what's what in here, so we'll just have to have a little bit of guesswork on this. But I love the fact that this fertilizer spreader, when you hit the B button, look, it pulls the lever and starts dispensing. I mean, how good is that? So we'll just take a little bit of a guess as to where these are, and hopefully we'll get it done. Right, my radar, in my head anyway, says it should be somewhere around about here. I think there might be a missing bit just about here. Right, let's pull the lever and see how well we did. Oh, so close. A couple of dots. Let's see if we can grab those. Just to make sure that we've got everything. I know we probably don't need to, and the impact it'll make is minimal. But the perfectionist in me won't let it go. So, leave it on. Let's guesstimate about here, shall we? It'll be easier in the next fields. Promise. Oh, there's a tiny bit down there, but do you know what? That'll do for now. That'll do for now. Right. Let's jump over. I can still see the weeding going on just ever so slightly right over there in the corner. We'll jump across there quickly and have a look. If nothing's happening there, we'll throw it straight into the peas here, and we'll do that next. Now look at our fertilizer consumption though. Hardly any. We've got 93% less, so I'm kind of hoping we could get the majority of this field done, and possibly the next one as well. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Lots still going on here. It's going to be a while, isn't it? Yep, so we'll let him push on with this. If you look down at the field info though, weeds have now disappeared. Fertilizer at 0% though. If we run over here, weeds are still there. So, it is working. not just removing them visually, it's actually getting rid of them in the field altogether. So we'll let them push on, and we'll go back and get this field of peas fertilised. So we are making good progress here, and we're really not using a lot of fertiliser at all, which is great. So we will push on with this. Let's just jump in the map. As you can see, we've got this little bit left here, a couple of bits over there, straggly bits, maybe pick those up at the end, just not captured all of them. And then we'll get into field 16, which must almost be cleared as well. Yes, look, a few more rows in there. So actually these two may finish just about the same time, which is absolutely perfect. So we'll let them do that, and we'll come back to you. Right, we are done here. Super Major sorted with the weeder. So this one can go back to the farm now. We are all done with weeds for the year, which is great. And the field next door is all done as well. So we can get fertiliser in here. And that is a good day's work done, I have to say. Pretty pleased with that. What we'll probably do, when we finish fertilising this final field here, is probably call it there for the day. And we'll go out and get some more grass tomorrow. There is, the grass is ready to cut. But I think we could get another growth stage out of it. Which will give us a little bit more yield, which is good. So, there we go, just grab those few stragglers on the way out there. But we're done. Let's head this back to the yard. Where's the John Deere? It's parked in here somewhere. There it is, over by the red barn. We'll go and get that, and we'll pop that into the next field as well. It is all systems go here. Right, let's just turn the HUD on. 67% still left in this. It's crazy how little it's used, or how little it's needed. Not that I'm complaining in any way, shape or form, because that saved us a lot of money having to top that up a few times. So we'll just drop it in at the edge here. Now this is going to be the easiest field for us to see where we've been and where we haven't been, because it'll properly change this texture, I'm hoping, in terms of making it a little bit darker. Yes, there we go, and just a little bit of a demo there. You can certainly see where you've been with the fertiliser here. So, I guess we'll just crack on with this, shall we? Right, here we go. Rolling up for our last pass, hopefully. No, just a tiny little slither there. We do have a couple of bits down at the end of the field as well on the turns that we need to fill in, so that's alright. But we are just about done. It has not taken very long at all, actually. It runs at a decent speed. Now, I do have the two grass fields to do as well, ideally, but we're not going to do that right now. Because actually they're just about ready to harvest. But like I said, we were going to finish these fields today, getting on a little bit. It's 3 in the afternoon, so we don't want to start anything just now. So we'll probably get things tidied up and come back and start with the chopper and the forage box tomorrow. But let's grab these few little bits, like I said. get those done and get this back to the yard. But that's great to get all those 3 fields done already. Is pretty cool. One of the things I've noticed with this series, just with the small equipment and the narrower widths, things do take a decent amount of time to get through. So actually, with the speed you can run this at, this hasn't taken too long at all. So let's get this back, let's get it all put away, and we will see you in the morning. That feels like quite a good point to finish this episode. There's some good work done here today, and we can come back and get stuck in to getting some more grass off the fields in the next episode. So for now, from me, Farmsim Guy, thank you as always for watching. It's been a real pleasure for me to do this series and see how engaged everybody is with it. So thank you very much for your comments, thank you for the views. It has been much appreciated, genuinely. I'm delighted you enjoy it as much as I do. So for now, from me, Farmsim Guy, take care, have a great week, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.